The American Psychiatric Association describes transgender as an umbrella term for anyone whose internal sense of gender differs from their biological sex. This definition lacks any scientific specificity, meaning many things and nothing at all. They admit it is a non-medical term. One form of transgender resembles cosplay, where individuals adopt identities for self-expression or ideological reasons. Figures like Dylan Mulvaney and Jeffrey Marsh exemplify this performative aspect, where their ideology demands everyone else play along, but no one should change their understanding of reality to make someone feel good about him or herself. This is a collective denial of truth, a kind of social psychosis. Another dimension is the influence of social media and peer culture, particularly on impressionable youth. Abigail Schreier's book, Irreversible Damage, highlights how social contagion drives what's called rapid onset gender dysphoria among teens and especially girls. This phenomenon persuades young people to suddenly question their biological reality, often leading to permanent life-altering decisions. Activists dismiss rapid onset gender dysphoria as invalid because it disrupts their narrative that all transgender identities are innate, and they are not. Most self-identified transgender individuals don't live consistently as their new chosen gender. They are part-timers. They adopt imprecise labels like non-binary or gender non-conforming, reflecting how fluid and subjective these identities are. Only a minority present full-time as quote-unquote trans men or trans women, and even fewer experience diagnosable clinical gender dysphoria. This affects only 0.6% of Americans. Gender dysphoria shares similarities with something called Body Integrity Identity Disorder, or BIID, where individuals feel great distress over healthy body parts like legs or arms that they do not believe are theirs and wish to have them removed, and go to great disturbing lengths to do so. Additionally, there's autogynephilia, a lesser-known but widely practiced form of transgenderism. This condition involves men who are sexually aroused by presenting as women, so they do. Experts like Michael Bailey contend Bruce Jenner likely transitioned due to autogynephilia rather than gender dysphoria. This raises ethical concerns, particularly when such individuals seek access to women's spaces as part of a fetish. This fact should deeply concern all women, girls, and the men who love them and seek to protect them. Few say it better than feminist Kara Dansky in her book, The Abolition of Sex. She explains, "Here's the truth we cannot speak. Gender identity, quote unquote, does not exist in any real material sense. And transgender, quote unquote, is simply a made-up concept that is used to justify all kinds of atrocities. It is, in effect, a men's rights movement intended to objectify women's bodies and erase us as a class. It is left-wing misogyny on steroids." And she says, "I say this as a leftist and a Democrat." Understanding transgenderism requires clarity and discernment. Never let others weaponize your compassion to force you into believing and saying things that you know are not true. Transgenderism is not natural, nor is it harmless. It is not a medical condition. It is an illusion that turns reality on its head.